Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about earning love versus receiving it. So often we have these subconscious patterns that put us in a position of seeking outside approval, seeking outside validation, seeking to be declared worthy, all outside of ourselves. So today I want to talk about the difference between earning and really receiving, which are two very, very different energetics. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe because I release a video weekly. Let's dive into this. So earning love comes from an early perception of what we experienced usually in childhood, right? Most of us kind of had unhealthy or codependent relationships modeled for us where we didn't look inside of ourselves, but we looked outside to get a sense of okayness. Like, are they happy? Do they like what they see? Am I keeping everybody happy here? And this is rooted in survival, right? Like, this is a behavior that was required at one point in your life, but has become maladaptive, right? It means that you did this at one point in your life to stay safe. But what often happens later is you realize that this behavior that once kept you safe is now limiting you. It's now preventing you from really reaching healthy, loving, unconditional sorts of relationships that allow you to really flourish and thrive and deepen in your personal truth and authenticity. So I really want to dive into ways in which you can make this distinction and begin to attract from a higher level space. Number one, the first clue is noticing if you are attracted to emotionally unavailable men. Men that you have to earn love from, men you have to prove yourself to, right? Where you have to kind of climb the mountain and kind of say, see, like I did it. Are you proud, right? You're kind of showing someone that you could do it, that you were worthy of it, that you earned it, right? This is a very, very subtle energetic for some, and it's very obvious for others. And so it requires a level of just willingness and self-reflection to see that if a man becomes more attractive to you, if he's hard to get, or if he's just not available, or if he's confused, or any of these things, right? Where that turns you on, where you're kind of like challenge accepted, right? And it puts you in this mode of doing. And so catch that in yourself, because this is likely rooted in something that doesn't serve you anymore, because I know that deep down, all of us desire loving, connected, thriving relationships. So it's really about making this bigger shift within and doing our healing work so we attract from a different space, one that's rooted in love versus any level of trauma, whether it's a micro or a macro level trauma. Number two, so this is really a healing from the inside out, where you are embracing your inner work, where you are noticing your nervous system, where you are noticing where you are, being drawn to those that are not available, or that are kind of playing these sort of mental games or chaser runner dynamics, any of these things. And instead, you're learning to go inward and see what it is about yourself that you're not accepting, right? See where it is that you're looking for that outer approval and that outer worthiness and validation through another. And instead, maybe that means just spending a little bit more time alone and getting to know yourself differently. Maybe it means becoming self-validated, which means that you're doing activities that make you proud, but you don't need to call another and, tell them about it so you get their approval. And one thing that I find really helpful is whenever I really want to share something with someone, I make sure that I'm not doing it to get accolades or outside validation, but I'm making sure that I'm just sharing as a way to connect versus like farming out my own inner authority in any way, right? Like making sure that I'm self-approved. And if I'm sharing, it's not coming from a space of seeking outside of myself. And when we check in with ourselves this way, we really build a new muscle, and the ego starts to take a back seat more and more and more. We kind of start to train the ego to settle and to stop seeking so much outside of ourselves, and instead to like really take responsibility for sourcing that within. Number 3, as you do this, you get to exit survival mode, which means your system starts to release these maladaptive patterns. And what you align with and what you are attracted to begins to shift dramatically. I have seen this in clients countless times. Those that used to be attracted to the challenge or to the man that played hard to get or who was chronically confused or chronically needing space and all of the things, right? Suddenly, as they began to grow in confidence and self-love, these men who couldn't get it together or who never knew what they wanted, they were no longer attractive to them. They just kind of fell off the menu, right? They just bounced off of them as they made more and more room for a man who was emotionally available, securely attached, willing to own his stuff, do his work, be in integrity, be honest, all of the qualities in which we intuitively value as humans. It begins to really move and shift your perspective because you feel safe enough within to hold this space for yourself. And so this is the beauty that begins to unfold. You go from surviving to creating relationships that allow you to thrive and truly be the most truthful, authentic version of yourself. I hope this video supports you in anything you're working on right now. For those of you interested in my work, there's several different ways you can work with me. I've got my new channel membership where you can visit that under the Join tab on my channel homepage. I also have my website, jenmichellecoaching.com, where you can explore my different digital and live coaching programs, as well as my upcoming group, Discovering Your Divine Feminine Essence. I look forward to talking with you all soon. Much love.